Hi, it's Evakarpman, and you are listening to the Dream Big Podcast Show, the place to go, to learn, laugh, and grow. Today, my guest is Rebeccazamolo. Chances are you're already a huge fan of her YouTube series and the Game Master Network. Today, she has some amazing tips about work ethic, comedy, and embracing the awkward moments. You ready? It's time to dream big.
Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast Show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Before we dive to this week's episode, let's hear from silly Sophia.
What kind of shoes do ninjas wear? Sneakers. What did one firefly say to another? You glow, girl.
Thank you, Sophia. This week's guest is Rebeccazamolo, one of the most innovative content creators in the world, with multiple award-winning YouTube channels, over 30 million subscribers, and billions of views. She also has a fascinating life story, which I discovered while preparing for the interview. You'll learn about her experience as a competitive gymnast growing up, why she studied improv when she moved to Los Angeles, and what she learned from that experience, and why awkward moments make her happy. Rebecca has a new book, The Game Master Summer Schooled, which is a lot of fun and a great summer read. I'll be sure to include links to everything discussed in this episode in our show notes. Without further ado, it is my honor to introduce to all you big dreamers, Rebeccazamolo. Let's roll the tape. Hi, Rebecca. I'm so excited to have you on the Dream Big podcast.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I know that the big dreamers are so excited to meet you, and I want to talk a little bit about your childhood first because it's so amazing. I know that you were a gymnast, and that has your work ethic that has created the wonderful, successful person you are today. So, if you could just share some of the major lessons that you learned from being in gymnastics and competing in gymnastics.
Yeah. Well, I was a gymnast for a long time when I started doing regular gymnastics, and then I transitioned into acrobatic gymnastics, which is like I would be stacked on top of 3 people. I was like the third.
Wow.
And I did that until I was 9. And then at 9, I made the transition to artistic, which is normal gymnastics, the gymnastics that most people are used to. And I got put on a team that I probably wasn't quite ready for, but the coach was like, she's going to be the worst. She's going to have to work hard, but I think she can do it. And he kind of let me on, even though I was so far behind everyone else. And I guess I moved really quickly. I went from level 5 to 9 in less than 3 months. 5 to 8. And so I was pushed really hard, but I liked it.
Wow.
Great.
And how many hours would you say you worked each day on gymnastics?
I trained for 32 and a half hours a week in the summer when I was 9 till the time I was like 15 or 16, right before I stopped. So yeah, it was intense. And then during the school year, I would go 22 to 25 hours a week. So
wow. That's actually a really valuable lesson for our big dreamers because in order to have that amazing work ethic, it takes hours. Yeah, it takes hours upon hours of training and dedication to winning those gymnastics competitions and being as a team there. So I think that's really amazing. It has clearly served you well in life. Go ahead.
No,
no, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I was saying it's sometimes when you're working hard, it's really easy to get frustrated and because you're in your bubble, just like doing your thing every day. But, and for me, I didn't see a lot of, I didn't get to see a ton of rewards in the beginning. But once I pulled back and you kind of look and I was like, whoa, like I went from this to this in that amount of time. So sometimes the easiest and best thing to do when you start getting frustrated and stuff is to kind of step back, because when you're in it, it's hard to see it. But if you step back, you can really see the progress that you've made. And I do believe hard work is how I've gotten everywhere in life. That's like the only secret sauce was working hard. No.
For sure. It's very important to work hard and keep on going even when you feel like you're done. But I think that's really amazing. And actually, I understand that when you first moved to Los Angeles, you became part of the improv community here. And can you share actually what improv means for some of the people who may not know what that word means? And why do you think people should consider taking improv classes?
Improv was really good when I moved to LA because I wanted to do acting, but I also thought, I was like, well, if I want to be a doctor, I would go to medical school. So if I want to be an actor, I should take acting classes. Had never taken any because I was so involved in sports. And so improv was a great way to learn. Improv is improvisation. So you're not given a script. You're given maybe a scenario and it's kind of like saying yes. And so if someone's like, I like your green shirt, you can't be like, no, this is orange. You're like, yes. I love this green shirt. It's my favorite. So it's about saying yes. It's also because nothing is planned. You have to just listen and listen to what people are saying. And I think that's really important in everything, to be able to like listen to people, hear what they're saying, and then be able to react based on that. Because if you don't, it just becomes a one-sided thing, it's just you talking. And so it really helped me with listening and then just being able to like act in the moment where I couldn't plan anything. And I loved, I came from gymnastics where everything was so controlled. Improv is the opposite. It's like there's nothing controlled. And so that was really good for me. I encourage everyone to do it no matter what field you're in. Like if you're a lawyer, improv can help you when you're in court on a case, to be able to, because people are constantly switching it up. You don't know what they're going to say. And like, I just think improv was so helpful. And even if I wasn't doing this, I would still want to take improv.
I totally agree. I've taken a few acting classes in the past, and my instructor would always ask us to like do improv. And to be honest, it can be a little nerve-wracking at first because you're forced to get outside of your comfort zone. And there's that rule. Yes, and you always have to say yes, and you got to keep the conversation going. And sometimes that's hard. So you have to be very creative. But those are such valuable skills in life. And once you realize that everyone is in the same boat as you are, you're there to support each other, just have fun. And it's a really fun experience. And I encourage everyone to try it out. It's really fun.
I think anytime you're uncomfortable or something makes you feel like weird, that's when you grow the most. So I encourage whenever you get that feeling of like, I don't want to do this, you should probably do it. Like, I think anything, and if you can keep doing that, it becomes easier to do things that you're afraid of. So it's like, and improv is just like the first step. And so it's just forcing you to be fearless, which I think is one of the most important skills for anyone who wants to be successful. It's like, you have to accept the fact that you might fail and you just do it anyways.
For sure. And I think that's really important in life, and you just got to keep on going. When I was preparing for this interview, I was amazed at the amount of content that you create. You have multiple YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram channels and accounts. And with so many of my guests, I can watch like one or two of their published speeches, and that's it. That's all they have, and I can learn everything that they've put online. But it would take me months or even like years to see all the amazing things that you've put, all the content that you've done, and I think it's so beautifully done. What are some of the benefits of creating so much content, and how do you come up with all those ideas?
I mean, luckily I've always been creative, and I just love putting things out. So I think what a lot of people do is they overthink, and they'll be like, oh, I want to do this, but I don't know. And they'll like worry about if it's perfect or not. And I don't. I just do it. And I really don't care what people think. And I think that's been like the one thing that could be good or bad. But I just like to have fun. I don't take myself seriously. I know that, at the end of the day, like I love my audience. I love connecting with people. That's like one of my favorite things. But the numbers, they don't matter. Like, I'm not afraid of having a video not do well. I'm not going to not post something because I'm afraid people might look at me weird, or I might not be cool enough. Like, I just don't care about any of that. And so with that, it's very freeing, because just imagine if you put out every single thing you thought of, that's essentially what I do. So,
wow.
It's just like, if you're like, wow, I would love to, I should try a prank. And I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to film it right now. And I just do it.
Yeah. First off, I want to say that what you do, I think it's so amazing. And it's a lot of work for me just to publish my one episode each week on the podcast. So I know that requires a lot of effort to come up with the ideas and like just spontaneously do the ideas and turn it into reality. And you clearly have an incredible team as well. And I encourage all the big dreamers out there to create content, not just consume it. And when I watch someone like you, Rebecca, it makes me realize that if you can put out this much amazing content, I can definitely do my one episode per week. And it inspires me to do so much more. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I mean, what you're doing is crazy. I was not doing a podcast when I was your age. I was in a gym. Like, so it starts with just making it. I love that, like, you're consistently posting one video a week. And it's like, you start with that and you commit to that. And then all of a sudden your confidence grows, you get to learn, and you're like, wow, okay, I can do one a week. Like, maybe I can do two, or maybe I can add a TikTok segment, or maybe like I didn't just start putting out this much content. It's been over the years where it was like, I'm going to do one video a week, and I'm going to commit to that no matter what. I'm going to post a video a week. And I committed, I forget how long it was, but I committed to that. And it didn't matter what, like, I had to make sure and hold myself accountable. And that's what you're doing right now. So you're way ahead of me. Like, I was already graduated out of college when I started. You're like already there.
Thank you so much. And I'm also amazed by the variety of your life experiences. You were a gymnast growing up, then you were a cheerleader, a broadcaster, a YouTuber, and most recently, you're an author. So why have you decided to take on so many challenges and try to pick up all these new skills?
Well, with life, I think that like we can live I'm like a cat. Like, there's 9 lives, and I think everyone can pivot at any point. So, I was a gymnast, and what happened in between that is I ended up running track and field in college, and then I went into acting, and then I had a surgery where I had to have my colon removed, and I was worried about all the surgeries and how I would act. So I started YouTube, and then I became a YouTuber. And I think that we limit ourselves to one thing, but it's like, why can't we do a lot of things? Why can't we have a podcast and be a YouTube star? Like, we can all do it all. It's just about trying it and doing it. And the Game Master Summer School book is an extension essentially of what we're talking about. I mean, it's very, you might not know the movie Breakfast Club. It's a very old movie, but it's a bunch of kids and they're different personalities that have to come together. And so Becca in the book is essentially me when I was younger. And I was like, definitely like to lead. I was the oldest in my family. I bossed my siblings around, but and with that, there's different characters that different people can relate to depending on who you are. But at the end of the day, everyone has to learn something. Everyone has strengths and everyone has weaknesses, and that's okay. And just learning that working together and bringing in, you talk about a team, but and that's kind of what the book is. It was like, we can't escape getting out of school with just me. I need everyone else's strengths and everyone else to be able to do it. And we have to do it together. So yeah, that's the book.
For sure. And speaking of course, your new book, can you actually explain more about your Game Master Network? Because I know a lot of people may not know what that is. So can you just explain a little bit about it and how it relates to your book?
Yeah. So the Game Master, I guess you could say it's a series, but it's essentially on our YouTube channel. I guess the best way to explain it is an escape room in real life, where we're constantly solving mysteries. Everyone, has different skills to take on challenges, and it's one continuous storyline. So if you start on my channel, and we have 2 other channels, it is basically just a group of friends that have come together, and we try to, we deal with our own drama, but we're trying to solve mysteries, battle, get out of escape room type situation. So it's very clue heavy and very interactive. Our audience helps us, people watching help us in our videos find things that we didn't maybe find or whatever. So an escape room in real life meets Amazing Race, because we kind of go all over.
Well, I personally, I love your Game Master Network, and we were sent an advanced copy of your book, Game Master Summer Schooled. And just like your YouTube series, the book is so much fun. And as you said, the characters, they're interactive and they use their creativity to solve all the puzzles. And without giving away too much of the story, I think that the timing of your launch is just perfect, because most kids are finishing up the normal school year, and they are, it's just perfect where we are right now in our lives. And for anyone who is listening right now, we will definitely include the links in our show notes where you can pick up the book. And it's not going to be that hard to find because it's such an amazing book.
You got a PDF of it, but I have a signed book for you, an actual physical copy. So I'll send that to you after this.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to read it as a hard copy now.
Or you can just display it or put your camera up on it and feed like a tripod.
Well, definitely everybody listening, please go pick up a copy of the book, and it
subscribe to Ava if you haven't. Subscribe to your podcast, right?
Yeah, and definitely go check out the Game Master Network and everything Rebecca. So also everybody, even if you're listening to this episode later and your school year has already started again, it's an amazing book. So you can even check it out then, because it's just so enjoyable and fun. So before we wrap up this interview, on one of your social media profiles, you wrote that awkward moments make you happy. So most of the time when people think of the word awkward, they think like uncomfortable. So why do awkward moments make you happy?
Well, there's so many things. First, it's just fun to see these awkward moments play out. Second, it happens to me a lot. And I think that's like, most of the awkward moments have led to something really awesome later. And I think it's just freeing if you just realize that like those things are going to happen. I think so many people get worried about being awkward or feeling that way. And if you can just embrace that feeling and know it's going to happen. Like you will be uncomfortable and kind of enjoy it and look at it in a more positive way versus being so nervous. I feel like it's very freeing. And then all of a sudden, you feel a little bit more fearless and you're less likely to hold yourself. So
I think that's an amazing lesson for all the big dreamers to not take yourself too seriously, to have a sense of humor and to loosen up and laugh at yourself. And clearly from your videos, you know how to have a great time and you're living your big dreams while having fun doing it, which I think is really amazing. And yeah.
Well, thank you again for having me. This was so fun.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. And it was so much fun having you. I have 2 last questions before you leave. And so one of them is, what is your big dream for the future? You've already done so much, but what is next?
I mean, definitely starting a family is a dream of mine. So that's like probably number 1. And then I mean, after that, I would love the series to, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see the book series get made into something, whether it's a movie or a series or something like that would be just really cool. Even if I'm not in it, but like just to have it created, I would just love that. So something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be really cool. A Game Master Network, like video game or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. And lastly, where can our audience find out more about you and your new book?
You can go to, my YouTube channel is rebeccazamolo. And if not, you can go to rebeccazamolo.com. It's our site where we sell all our merch, but there is a link to our book there. You can get it at Target, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart. So you can find it in most stores. So yeah.
Well, big dreamers, definitely check out Rebecca's book and merch and everything, and especially the Game Master YouTube channel. And thank you so much, Rebecca, for coming on to the Dream Big podcast. It was an honor to have you as my guest. And big dreamers, I definitely encourage you to pick up the Game Master. Again, thank you, Rebecca, so much.
Thank you for having me.
It was so much Yeah, thank you so much. Bye. That was such a fun interview, and you can see from Rebecca's personality why her content is so engaging and popular. Thank you, Rebecca, for being my guest. We will include links to Rebecca's website, social media accounts, new book, as well as everything we discussed on the episode in our show notes. Did you love this interview? If so, please consider leaving a review on iTunes. We do read all of your reviews, and it helps us stay high in the iTunes rankings so we can reach more and more big dreamers. You can leave the review at dreambigpodcast.com/iTunes. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. This is evakarpman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional, you need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion the way life is meant to be. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!